report in the United Kingdom has unveiled new figures about the ethnic makeup in British youth offender institutions. And according to government figures, the minority ethnic community makes up just 8% of the British population, but 39% of all youth offenders are ethnic minorities. From 2006 to 2007, that figure, it stood at 23%. And then in 3 years, it jumped to 33%. And just last year, that number grew to nearly 40%, stands at 39%. And that's despite an overall decline in the number of youth offenders in the UK. Let's take this on and bring in from London Nathan John. He's the director of Youth Enlightenment, and that's an organization that provides support to British youth. Nathan John, thank you very much for joining us here on Al Jazeera. The obvious question, I suppose, is why is the number of black youth offenders on the rise while you see the number of youths overall actually falling?
Yeah, it's very disappointing to hear that figure. And there's a number of reasons, and I don't think we can just look at what's happened over the last few years. We have to go way back to the communities that these individuals are born in, their families, their aspirations, education, all those things. But one of the things that I look at is unemployment levels have increased within the UK amongst the youth population, where I think we're around 1 million young people unemployed. Now, if you're young and if you're black, you're more likely to be unemployed than anything else. You're more likely to go to prison than university. There's a number of statistics out there that reveal a very shocking and disappointing picture, and that's where we are at the moment.
Would that theory then, Nathan, also apply to Muslims? Because what this report is saying is that there's also a rise in the number of Muslims in youth jails, 16% this year compared to 13% last year.
Yeah, if you're black or Asian in the UK, you're more likely to be stopped and searched. You're more likely to be arrested than any other race. You're more likely to be convicted. You're more likely to get a harsher sentence. There's a number of factors affecting that number that I see. But also at the same time, I think that community is affected by the lack of positive role models, a lack of aspirations to do the right thing. I've seen, people that I've known growing up go on the wrong path because that's the only path they felt was before them. I was fortunate to have a goal and have people around me to support me, to make me believe in that goal, and that's why I do what I do now. I give young people access to mentors, getting them into these top organisations so they can see what life could be and that they can start aiming higher.
And Nathan, we're talking about these young people. I mean, when you actually think about it, you're talking about teenagers here. So for those of them that are in the jail system, how do you break the cycle so once they come out, they don't actually repeat the same cycle and end up in these youth jails once again? What needs to be done?
It's very hard to break that cycle, and the government pour millions, if not billions, into reoffending strategies and projects. One of the things that work very well is when you can provide them with support when they come out, when you can provide them with a caseworker, someone who's not just there to tick a box and make sure they come and sign on, but someone who connects to them, who's supporting them to get their life back on the ground. And sometimes those individuals need to come away from their community where they grew up, where they have friends, where the drug dealers around, where they know where to go to get a quick fix, or they know where to go to make some easy money. They need to be removed from that environment, taken somewhere else, and provided with support to not go back into prison, because they don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone come out of prison to say they enjoyed it and they can't wait to go back. They want to do better, but because of lack of opportunities, they feel that it's the easiest thing to do.
All right, Nathan John, good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us from London.
Thank you for having me.